Let me ask you something real quick. Have you ever been around a woman and felt like everything was clicking, but over time, her vibe shifted? She was laughing, texting first, being playful, and then slowly, something changed. She started becoming colder, more distant, and you didn't do anything wrong, but still, you could feel it. That shift usually doesn't happen because you weren't good enough. It happens because you didn't protect the masculine energy that drew her in from the beginning. What I'm about to share with you isn't surface level advice. This is the stuff nobody teaches. The small shifts, the invisible moves that separate the men she keeps around from the ones she forgets. Let's get into it. Point 1. Don't match her energy. Make her match yours. A common mistake men make is mirroring a woman's emotional state. She gets emotional, he gets emotional. She's excited, he amps up too. But here's what I realized. Your strength isn't in your similarity, it's in your contrast. You're not supposed to match her, you're supposed to anchor her. That means when she's frantic, you stay calm. When she's dramatic, you stay composed. You give her a steady frequency to attune to, and she'll begin leaning into that groundedness because it feels safe. You stop reacting. You let her come into your world instead. Point 2. Be playful, not personal. One thing that flips the dynamic fast is when a guy gets too serious too soon. Every conversation becomes deep, emotional, personal. And while that might seem like connection, to her, it feels like weight. What I learned is, if you want to keep a woman obsessed, don't get too personal. Be playful, be light, be energy. When she says something heavy, you smile and float right past it. Not because you don't care, but because you're not letting her pull you into emotional mud. Stay in the vibe and watch her open up more than ever. Point 3. Less explanation, more mystery. You ever notice how the more you explain yourself, the less she seems interested? That's because certainty is quiet. When a man starts over-explaining, justifying, or trying to prove his intentions, she starts sensing neediness. Mystery doesn't mean being fake. It means letting her wonder, let her guess, let her read between the lines. The less you reveal, the more she feels. And feelings, not facts, are what keep her obsessed. Point 4. Respond with energy, not logic. Here's what most men don't understand. When she talks, she's not always looking for solutions. She's looking for connection. If you respond logically, giving her strategies or fixes, you're missing the mark. But if you respond with energy, like a smirk, a pause, a little whoa, that's wild, you're feeding what she's really hungry for, emotional stimulation. She's not trying to solve her problems when she vents. She's trying to feel safe unloading them, and the man who doesn't try to fix her, but just holds the moment, wins. Point 5. Speak slower than you think you should. This one changed everything for me. Most guys speak quickly when they're nervous or trying to impress, but when you speak 15 to 20% slower, your entire energy shifts. You seem more grounded. You seem like a man who doesn't chase, doesn't rush, doesn't need to prove anything, and she picks up on that instantly. It's subtle, but women are masters of subtlety. That slowed down speech says, I'm in control. I don't need to chase the moment. I am the moment. Point 6. Stay neutral to stay powerful. There's going to come a moment, maybe after a few weeks of dating, where she'll throw something emotional at you. It might be drama, it might be a test, it might be some wild accusation. If you take the bait and respond with energy, you lose. But if you stay neutral, calm, non-reactive, maybe even amused, something shifts. She sees a man who can't be rattled, and that's rare. That neutrality tells her subconscious, this man isn't emotionally controllable. And that's what pulls her in deeper than any compliment ever could. Point 7. Never let her pull you into her emotional world. This is huge. She will try, consciously or not, to pull you into her emotions. It's not malicious. It's her way of checking if you can hold space without falling apart. You need to treat it like a storm passing by. Let her talk, let her vent, let her feel. But don't get caught in the swirl. Don't let your emotions get pulled in. You are the calm in the chaos. If you master this, she'll feel safer with you than with anyone else, even if she can't explain why. Point 8. Attraction dies when it feels too familiar. Here's a paradox most men miss. If she knows everything about you, your habits, your schedule, your opinions, the mystery fades. And with it, attraction fades too. To keep it alive, you have to remain slightly unpredictable, change your rhythm, be less available, surprise her energy with pauses and pullbacks, not to manipulate, but to stay interesting. Familiarity breeds comfort, but obsession, that's fed by unpredictability. Point 9. Her words aren't as important as her vibe. Men often take what she says literally. She said she doesn't want a relationship. She said she's tired. She said she's not in the mood. But here's what you need to understand. Words lie, but energy doesn't. Pay attention to her vibe, her tone, her body language, her micro reactions. Sometimes she says no with her mouth, but yes with her body. So stop getting caught in the surface, learn to read the unspoken, and everything changes. Point 8. Attraction dies when it feels too familiar. Here's a paradox most men miss. If she knows everything about you, your habits, your schedule, your opinions, the mystery fades. And with it, attraction fades too. To keep it alive, you have to remain slightly unpredictable, change your rhythm, be less available, surprise her energy with pauses and pullbacks, not to manipulate, but to stay interesting. Familiarity breeds comfort, but obsession, that's fed by unpredictability. Look, I know this stuff isn't always easy to apply, especially if you've been taught to be the nice guy, the listener, the pleaser. But the more you let go of those roles, the more she starts to see you, the real you, not the one trying to impress her, but the one quietly leading the room without saying much. That's where the obsession starts. And if you're ready to be that man, I want you to comment below, I stay above it, because that's your new job. No matter what storm she brings, you stay above it, and in that stillness, she'll always come back to your calm.